In the quiet little town of Crayford, right at the end of Maple Street, stood a house that was anything but ordinary. It looked normal enough, with its white walls and a small, tidy garden. But the locals all knew its secret. Inside that house, there was a clock, and that clock was never, ever right. People tried everything. They'd wind it, changed the batteries, even replaced the entire clock mechanism. But it made no difference. The hands would spin wildly, or stop out together, or point to a time that simply didn't exist. The house belonged to Mr. Elias Crow, a quiet, solitary man who kept to himself. Some whispered he was a brilliant scientist, while others were convinced he was just a bit mad. One warm summer, a boy named Daniel and his family moved in next door. Daniel had a passion for puzzles and mysteries, and the story of the clock immediately grabbed his attention. He just had to know why it was always wrong. So, he asked his elderly neighbor about it. Leaning in close, she whispered a chilling reply, "Because, my dear, that house doesn't live in our time." What could that possibly mean? The mystery was only just beginning. If you love stories like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Thanks for watching. One day, Daniel gathered his courage and knocked on Mr. Crow's door. To his surprise, the door opened slowly. "Yes," Mr. Crow said, his voice tired. "I just wanted to see the clock," Daniel said. Mr. Crow stared at him for a long moment, then smiled sadly. "Be careful what you wish to see." Inside, the house felt strange. The air was cold, and the walls were covered with old photographs. In the center of the living room stood a large antique clock. It said 3:17 p.m. Daniel checked his phone. It was 5:42 p.m. "That's wrong," Daniel said. Mr. Crow nodded. "It's always wrong for this world." Hush, hush, hush. The truth about the clock. Mr. Crow finally told Daniel the truth. Years ago, he had built a machine that could see into different timelines, past, present, and future. The clock was connected to it. The clock didn't show this asterisk time. It showed time from other realities. Sometimes it showed time from the past, sometimes from the future, sometimes from worlds where Daniel had never even been born. "The clock is not broken," Mr. Crow said. "It just doesn't belong here anymore." Daniel begged to see the machine. Against his better judgment, Mr. Crow agreed. They went into the basement. There was a glowing device humming softly. Mr. Crow warned him, "Never touch it. Time is not something humans can control." But Daniel, being curious, touched the button. Suddenly the world froze. Birds stopped flying. Dust stopped falling. Even Mr. Crow stopped blinking. Only Daniel could move. The clock upstairs started ticking backwards. Daniel ran outside. The entire town was frozen like a photograph. Panic filled his chest. "Am I dead?" he whispered. Then he heard the clock's voice in his head. "You are not in time anymore. You are between moments." Daniel realized something terrifying. The clock didn't just show wrong time. It could remove people from time completely. The voice spoke again. "Choose, stay here forever, or return and forget everything." Daniel cried. He wanted to remember, but he also wanted his life back. He pressed the button again. Daniel woke up in his bed. It was morning. He ran to Maple Street. The house was gone. No Mr. Crow, no clock, no basement, only an empty field. But on his wall at home, there was a small clock. It said 3:17 p.m. Daniel checked the real time. It was 5:42 p.m. and the clock was smiling at him. Some clocks are broken, and some are just showing a time that humans were never meant to see.